You know, I'm heartbroken when I see a beautiful woman working, and I think most women are beautiful. Not all physically necessarily appeal to me, but who am I, you know? And this, I don't know if the right word would be like chauvinistic or arrogant or misogynist. I don't know what the right word the people would call me. I call myself a Christian under this circumstances because the Bible's clear. From women not speaking in church to the role of the man's to love the woman as Christ loves the church, the woman's to reverence the man. It's all written down. If you're not Christian, then it wouldn't apply to you. If you are, then if you're a Christian and your wife works full time to sustain the income that you guys need, that's a problem for your Christianity. Now, culturally, societally, which I prefer much to talk about more than, I prefer to talk more from an economics standpoint than a Christian standpoint. It's easier, it's less cumbersome. Not that it's good for my Christian life, but I'm not a Christian all the time. Sometimes I'm just a simple Gentile that doesn't have any direction in his life, in his physical flesh life, other than what's right, other than this economic production that I am, and all of us are. So economics takes emotions out of it, and it's hard to think about a woman not having the same rights as a man. Equality is important, and it's hard to think of a man not having the same rights as a woman. Because they're both humans, they're both Americans, let's say, and they're both. But I think the better way to talk about it is roles. What's the role? And I just walked past my church, and there's 24 kids outside. Some of them don't even have a shirt on. Some of them are in skimpy little bathing suits, and they're all under the age of 5. And they're having a blast. And there's 4 parents. There's a 6-to-1 ratio of and their moms. Dads could be out there too. Dads aren't as good as dads. Moms are better. Moms are better in that context. It's just flat out. You're going to hire the woman over the man. Well, there's just roles, for whatever reason. Yeah, I say right, wrong, or indifferent. But just accept the fact that women do better at general parenting than dads most of the time. Dads are cool too, but the dads kind of got to get out there hunting and killing something, whether it's the next sale or the next thing coming down the production line, or that's just kind of the normal role. Normal is not a great word, but that kind of produces the best outcome for society. When the work by the woman and now, if she's not of childbearing, she doesn't have any kids around anymore, she can help with the other people's kids, give them a break. And it's laborsome, it's exhausting. I would rather be on the assembly line than with the kids, because I can do the kids for an hour, maybe 2, and then I would start looking resentful at the kids maybe. I don't mean resentful but seriously, thoughts come in your mind. Be honest with yourself, folks, what you think in certain contexts. And women have such an important role in our society. That's the main point of this message. Yes, this is part of 208 hours. But what this really is when you're watching me and listening to me, I'm giving you an example of how someone who thinks like me can produce outcomes that are if I don't turn your stomach once in a while with what I say, I'm not doing my job. Somebody's got to make you think, and I'm trying to help you think. And when you think about how to substantiate and justify something, you may not be like me. I will overcome an objection until I walk away. I'm not going to relent. I'm hardly going to give up anything. I'm not going to go work for $12 an hour for anything. I barely work for 20. I think I'm worth. I told somebody I was worth $20 and he looked at me as labor. I said, yeah. I said, even though I'm not skilled, that's because of what I stand for. I stand for a certain belief system, and I'll protect it to the death. And doesn't have. If you want to steal my food, take my food. If you want to take my clothes or my money, take them. Steal them from me. I'm not even going to call the cops probably. But if you want to take my word and my inherent value to society and culture, my potential to perform, and what I'm going to communicate to someone if they need to hear it. Look, I don't care who it is. I have to walk away. I have to bite my lip and walk away. Sometimes because what I want, the correction and reproof that I want to give people is so needed and so necessary and so absent from the groups that I'm around. But yet I don't want to damage my other relations, and I don't want to start a fight. I don't want anything physical to come about. Nothing's worth physical combat. Not on a small scale. Grand scale you have to. There has to be warriors, there has to be war, there has to be conflict. Territorial, it's all territorial. If somebody over on another territory is doing something that's going to potentially harm us, we have to be able to take action, and we are. I love living in America right now in that regard. Finally, our military aligns with our people. Our people say war's okay if it's the right kind of war, and we'll sacrifice. You know, Israel's so small, they have to have everybody go to war. The poor Muslims, they just aren't, it's the poor Muslims you have to worry about because they don't have the resources. And who else do you blame but the white man? We probably are to blame for a lot of the resource scarcity. But it's even bigger than that. When you know there's an adversary and he wants to keep the women at war, he wants women to go dress up in suits and lead men in business studies. And some of that's okay. But that woman's better serving society and culture, her culture, by taking care of the next generation, investing in. See, the man's kind of doing it now. He's taking care of the now problem. And the woman's planning this. She's the future planner. When they're looking out for the children and developing the children, I'm not just talking about teaching. Teaching's just part of it. That child's only in school 20-some% of its waking hours. It's everywhere else that's so valuable because that structure. I see these young kids being properly taught and properly cultured in my church, which does great outreach to children. And the parents involved, and it is stunning how awesome it is. Stunning. And it makes me know, not think, but it makes me know that a lot of these problems I see out here amongst the unhoused, and what stories I do know and stories I get, a lot of it comes naturally. And the tics and the problems and the behavior, the challenges that folks have, from auditory to facial expression to emotional, it's because of damage in there, damage early on. It's like manufacturing. You can manufacture amazing adults, but it starts immediately upon birth. It starts at conception. But you cannot. I saw a prostitute's baby, 8 months old, and that baby looked so healthy. There's no way she could have known who the dad is. There's no way she could have been drug-free during the pregnancy. And there's no way she's taking premium care of the baby, like you would say if she lived in Carmel or North Hollywood. But this child looks so, because she's a loving person. Hello, miss, how are you today? Good to see you. She's a loving, caring person. And she would have poured her heart into this child so far. And for 8 months, that child's not felt alone. I guarantee it. Because there's other people in her world. She has a loving world around her. And there's other people, and there's nothing but love in that child's world right now. So even though that child's homeless, that 8-month-old baby's homeless, unhoused, and it's living in a car, it doesn't know any better. It just wants it wants to be around a happy mom. And dad too, it wants its daddy too. But it wants all kinds of love. And it wants to be able to whine and cry and not be slapped or beaten, And that's what's going on with that baby. That baby looks so healthy, big head and just scaled beautiful. He was beautiful. 8 months old. Couldn't believe how big he was, how healthy he looked. Guarantee he's seeing the doctors. Guarantee she's taking medical care. So that kind of love and attention. The problems we're dealing with right now, the reason I say homeless people are scum, it's not their fault, but they're degenerated. There's reprobates. There's deterioration in the human condition. Not all humans are created equally. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that line. All humans are created differently. Some with greater potential than others. Albert Einstein and Jeffrey Dahmer weren't created the same, but they had influences in their life that led them to be their ultimate outcome. There was some free will involved. There's always free will, don't forget about that. God is not steering, directing, controlling anything right now. The God of this world is Satan. He's a spirit that's whispering in your ear, but God's not. So don't be confused that good things or bad things, either one are happening because of God's hand, okay? God's hand is resting. He wrote his books. They came together through the prophets. They came together through inspiration and preservation and translation. And we have them. We've got them in different forms. Some are better than the others. And I'd go so far to say that the Quran and other books that speak of the values, same value system that the Judeo-Christian, it's all the same. It's all the same message. You can see it's woven together. You can see how the Quran came from the Christian Bible and the English Bible. And you can see how that came from the nation of Israel. It all just flows because there's not enough books on the planet during those times before the printing press to have it any other way. You can't undo the internet. Do you think Muhammad learned about Judaism? Absolutely. So see, there's practicing that's going on there in other religions that aligns with some of the important principles of the key religion, which is of our shared creator, and it's just one, and I don't think it has a name. I could give it a name, but the name's not important. Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, thank you, darling. So why is it always the women looking out for you? Always the one. He didn't say anything. He was gonna let me trip. I'm just kidding. Thank you, miss. I appreciate it. See how perceptive women are? I'm walking with this rope. It's just dangling. I'm not gonna show here. Look, it's dangling. It's a strap. It's part of a ratchet strap. It's just dangling. It's wrapping around my leg, kind of. Did you see how she stopped and interjected? She was getting her tire changed at J.R. Torres. J.R. Torres, I bet they pay so much in taxes. Now, I call them J.R. Torres always working. They are, oh, you should see them on Sunday. Out the door, line at the door. Now, Indianapolis has got tough roads. It really does. All the things that Indianapolis does that are great. Don't kid ourselves. So we'll never have good roads in the city. The reason being is because the earth is expanding. These potholes and craters. We have a sinkhole this year, I heard. We've got so much rain here this year. We're so fortunate with our weather and our land. Topsoil grows everywhere. I'll say that again. Topsoil grows everywhere. I love promoting Indiana. I was so down on Indiana when I left and moved to Kentucky for a year. But I'm so glad to be back. Of course, my heart wishes it was in Kentucky too, because it loves Kentucky. But this weather is so there's a breeze today. The weather's it's probably 72 degrees right now. You could be fully suited up, head to toe. You could have gloves on, or you could be in shorts and no t-shirt and be comfortable. It's amazing. You know, a lot of people don't have this kind of weather. A lot of people don't experience this weather at all. I mean, in Arizona, it's going to be smoking hot today. Denver and Texas and a lot of people live in Florida. A lot of people don't like the cold. I'll do the cold over the winter, over the summer. I'll take a heavy winter. Not Minnesota. That's too cold. Chicago's too cold. But Indiana's perfect, man. I wonder if your body becomes so used. If you live somewhere for 50 years, this is my home in central Indiana. I lived here for 48 out of 50 years. North Carolina was the other place. And Tucson, Arizona for a minute. But my body, I struggle to leave. All the stuff you hear about the global condition of the atmosphere and the weather and the climate and planet health, you wouldn't know it from Indiana. If you were in Indiana, you'd just think, it's just a pretty normal, pretty good. It's June 15th, it's almost July, and it's in the lower 70s. And it's almost 11 a.m. That's gonna get up to, it might hit 80 today, but it might not. The sun's great. I mean, this is amazing. I've been walking, I'm not even sweating. I sweat when it gets up in the 90s and 80s, high humidity. It's like I'm gonna drown in my sweat. Cool, keeps me cool. I am not a creature designed to be scorched by the sun. Someone told me one time, and I'll let you go, they thought I was a descendant of Swiss royalty, like they had to get me out of there. I was going to get the wrong royal treatment, and when the answer thought I was Swiss. I don't know, man. That's fun to think about. Some people pay attention to lineage and genealogy. I'd say most of the world does. For some reason, the United States wants to think we're all equal. We're not, but we deserve equal opportunities, at least that match our capability, and that's not easy to do. Well, the only way you can do that is on a community level. Get your communities in order. Get your house in order, folks. Get your little block in order. Help pick up your neighbor's trash just for fun. Do it for your own health. Tell everybody you pick up trash. It's great. It's a great tactic. Somebody's pissed at you and you're over there bending up picking up trash out of their yard. It's hard for them to get really mad. I've had it happen a couple times. I've had a gun drawn on me because I was taking it a little too far. I was borrowing their waste bin. Don't take people's waste bins. It's not a good idea. But if one's abandoned or broken down, get a new one. Waste is important. Trash is important. You know how important trash is? Think about your trash. Get your house in order. Part of that's your trash. I asked that in a previous video, how clean is your trash can? Could I live outside? Can I live in your trash can? Dumpster, is it clean enough for me to live in? You know, I tell you, trash has got a lot of value. And that's a word that is clearly defined for me as value. That's a way more important word than money. Okay, folks, have a nice day. Thanks for watching my video.